Hello, dear ones, and welcome to my first podcast. I was thinking about it since long, but then I said I'm going to get started because I had so many things to share with you all my experiences, which are a bit different kind of experiences. So I thought I will invite you to get on the board with me on this journey. So I hope you all are in there. So fasten your seat belts and let's get started for this journey of some kind of strange experiences that I had in life. So first, I'm going to share this experience with you all. This is something about the soul travels. I mean, does the soul travel? Okay, this is the topic of today, and I would like to tell you some of my experiences over here. All right, and the first one I will start with this dream that I had had. I dreamt of my friend, a school friend of mine. We were not so much in touch, Of course, he's on my WhatsApp, but not, like occasionally we wish each other a happy birthday or happy new year. And I dreamt about this friend, and I dreamt that this friend of mine had a car accident. He wasn't hurt, and as if it's night time and I am there on the street, it looked like a kind of a lonely street, and it was all dark and lot of trees around. I still remember the road was shining as if it had rained a bit, and I was walking on the street all alone, and I come across this car of my friend. It was a white car, so it was really, like flashing in front of my eyes. And I see my friend is waiting outside there, and his driver too is there with him, and they both are, like trying to see how much damage was done to the car. So and then I said, "Hey, hi," and then he's like, "What are you doing here at night?" And I said, "I was just walking by." And "What are you doing?" I said, "What happened?" And then he says, "You know what? My car had an accident, and now we are waiting over here." And then he checks his time, and then he says, "Oh, it's 3 o'clock still, one more hour to go, but I don't know where will I find a place open," and things like that. So I said, "You think at 4 o'clock the garage is open or things like that?" So he said, "I don't even know, but I know there is a garage, but it is quite a few kilometers from here," he said, "and I'll have to walk down because at this time I'm not even seeing any car or anything." So I said, "Are you going this way? Because I'll be walking on this path." So he's like, "Yes, yes, I will also join in, because if you're going towards the city, then we can find a garage, and I can try to see to find help." Okay, so I said, "Okay, no problem," and then we start walking, and it's a long road, and we both are walking, and then finally there is the sunlight. I mean, the day starts, the dawn is, we are experiencing the dawn on the path. As we are walking, we are speaking about our lives, like after school what did you do and things like that. So it was like a long path, and we both are just going on that path and speaking to each other about our lives. And then slowly the day starts to grow, and then we come across a garage after walking for quite some time. And over there, the timings are written of the garage, and they are written in Hindi. So I said, "Oh, you will have to wait, it seems." And he says, "Yeah, I'll wait here for 1 or 2 hours." And then he says, "Most probably around 10 or 9 o'clock they will open, and then I can take help from there, and I can take one of them will drive me to my car, and then we can get the thing mended, my car mended." And I said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Just take care and all." And then he says, then he said, "Just 1 second." He said, "Can you do me a favor?" And I said, "Yes." He says, "Please don't tell this to my wife." He tells me this, and I'm like, so so he said, "She has a habit of worrying. If you tell her, she'll start panicking and things like that, so don't tell it to her." So I said, "Okay, fine, no problem, I will not tell this." I said, my lips are sealed, I don't tell this." And then afterwards like I said, now I have to go because I have things to do, and we say bye to each other, and yeah, keep in touch and things like that. And yeah, I mean, I just go, you know. And then, well, next morning I had this dream. It was such a long dream, And I wake up, and then I'm like, it was like, it's so fresh in my mind. I mean, till today, it's fresh in my mind. And afterwards, I have my breakfast, I say my prayers, I do my meditation. And then after that, I start checking my, good morning messages that I send to my family and my friends. And then I'm, looking at that. And then I'm so surprised because it's not an occasion, nothing doing. And this friend of mine who I had seen in my dream has messaged me. And he's asking me, how are you doing? And I'm surprised. And I say, hey, I'm fine. How are you? He said, yeah, now I'm fine, he says. And then I'm like, now you're fine. So what happened? I said, anything wrong? And then he tells me. He says, last night I had an accident on the, road to get out of Bombay. And I'm like, okay. And I said, you were driving alone? And he said, no, I had my driver with me. And he said, we were on a completely lonely road, and this car, it just, one car, it just went by, and then we dashed into it, but that car didn't even stop. And we were in a mess, he said. I said, okay. And then he said, nothing, we had to wait because it was in early hours of the morning that it had happened. And he said, I had to walk down. Can you imagine my state of mind at that time? Is like, wow, I mean, I was completely dumbstruck. I said, yes, okay. And he said, I walked down, and I had to walk a kilometer or more. And then, he said, I found this garage, and I had to wait till they open. And I said, so... He said, finally, I mended my car, and, it took time. And then, just that, there was a bit of damage on the car and things like that. So luckily, me and my driver were not hurt, he said. I said, okay, fine. And then I'm like, okay, so, you know what, I dreamt about you, I said. And then he said, oh, really? Okay, fine. And then, as if he just was wanting to say something in a hurry. And I was like, before I could type my next message, he was like, I don't even know why am I telling this to you. And because, we were not like very pally or something that, I can share my experience with him and he speaks to me. Just very formal kind of, occasional messaging friends we were, okay? Even if we, like we were schoolmates and all, we hardly spoke to him at school also. But thanks to the modern technology that now I'm in touch with my school groups, and, when I was 3 years old, and all those friends of mine are still my friends, and just kept in touch. But he was not, he was from a bit of an outer circle friends, So he was like, I don't know why am I telling this to you. And I said, it's okay, maybe you felt like sharing it. He said, you know what, I would like to tell you something, it happened. And then he said, I said, what? And then he said, please don't tell this to my wife. And there it was like, oh my God. And I said, no, my lips are sealed. I will not tell this to your wife. He said, you know what, that she panics a lot. She worries a lot. So if she comes to know like this, she will never allow me to go in this car anymore. So I said, okay, I understand. Don't worry, I said. And I said, however, you have to take care, and even your driver has to take care, especially when you people drive. You have to be very careful. He said, you know what, it had rained and also, maybe the road was slippery, and this car, suddenly it came so fast and things like that. So I was like, okay, fine. Because then I told him, I said, I need to tell you something. And then I told him the whole dream. I mean, where the road was shining also because it had just rained, and I was walking with him on this road, everything. And he was surprised. He was completely surprised, and so was I. I mean, and then that thought came in my mind is that, did I really travel there? Because just everything that is happening there, everything I had seen, and next day this guy is telling me everything. Till today I haven't told his wife, okay? This has been like 3 years or more, I think, that this thing took place, and I never told his wife also about it, And then that thought came in my mind is that, had my soul traveled just because a friend was in need, What was that? I was like that, And then I told my family members, and they were quite surprised also. I was like, oh my God, like, they were like, oh my God, like, and I was like, yes, it was quite a strange experience. And that doesn't stop there. Another experience I will tell you. It was with my mother that I had this experience. It's like, again, in the dream. This has happened again in the dream for me. I dreamt, as if I was in my parents' house, and, the whole house and everything. So I was completely over there in my parents' house, and as if I get up over there in my parents' house. Well, right now I'm based in France, but I dreamt that I'm in India in my parents' house, okay? And then I wake up over there, as if in my sleep I'm waking up over there, and then I'm going to my parents' room, and it's again early in the morning there, and I'm saying, like, I'm calling out to my mother, like, mother, like I call out to my mother, ma, like that. I call out to my mother, and I said, Mama, can I use your washroom, please? And I asked this, and she's just waking up out, she's just waking up, and she said, yes, you can, and then it's like, and then I wake up, and then I am at my breakfast table, and I discuss it, and I tell my husband about it, and I tell him that, I dreamt as if I was at my parents' place, and I was really, I felt as if I'm really there, and it was so strange because I heard my mother, and as if I felt here in my bed that my mother is saying, yes, you can, like, use the washroom. So I really felt as if my mother was here, I said, So he said, oh yeah, maybe the connection, he said, and yeah, so voila. And then afterwards, I called my mother. I call my parents, daily, regularly, until they tell me, please don't call me. Or my mother says, please don't call me. We don't have anything new to tell you every day. Not every day. Then finally I end up asking them, like, what did you cook today? And things like that, They say, every day we don't have news to give you, But this time when I called, my mother, I spoke to my mother, and she said it was really strange. And I said, what? She said, this morning, around 4 o'clock, she said, I heard you. I felt as if you are here in our room. And I said, and what was I doing there? I was like, ooh, what is she going to tell me? And said, that as if you call me. And I said, you can use, as if you wanted to go to use our washroom. And then I told her what was my dream about, what I had dreamt, and I had actually heard her voice. I thought she was actually there. And she said, yes, you can use the room. That was quite an experience, because my mother really heard me, and she told my father as if, I heard her. She was just there, and she was, she called me out, and that woke me up, she said. And then she asked me if I could use the washroom. So my father said, yeah, it's strange. And then I said to her, I had the same experience, that I was there I had come to your room and I was asking you for this. So you see, as if I don't know what would you call it. I don't know. Is it did my soul travel, or was I really there? Was it a kind of a teleportation that had taken place? Because in this case, it was not even a dream. I mean, it was like both the people had felt the same thing. As if I was there and she could hear me over there in her room early in the morning, and she answered what I could hear here. I mean, that's strange. That's something really strange. And another experience also, I'll tell you. So many are there, but I will not bug you all with many of my experiences at least this first podcast session. Otherwise, you all will run away and say, "Oh my gosh, she speaks so much." Yeah. So yeah, there was one mom. It's about a friend again, a school friend again. And as if I'm dreaming, is again, it's a dream. Through the dream, this is happening again in my life. It's like this happened, I think it was 2 years ago or something like that, yeah. And it's a good friend. He's a good friend of mine. And a kind of a very sportive kind of a guy who goes to the gym every day and really, muscle guy and things like that. Yeah, very courageous kind of a Libra man. And I dreamt about him, and I dreamt that as if I was again, again it was night time, and again it was as if, I am on a street, I'm walking, and I'm just walking, and somebody's coming, my way, and I said like, "Hey," like I see him, and he said, "Hey, how are you, Sylvia?" And I'm like, "I'm fine, how are you?" And he's like, "Yeah, now I'm better." Like, "Now you're better? What happened?" I said, "You look better to me." And he said, "Now I'm a bit better." And I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" I said. And then I said, "Just a second," I said, And then I don't know why it's so crazy in my dream also. I just, with my hand, I just touch him here, I just touch him on the right side of his tummy. I just touch him there, and he just closes his eyes, and my hand is on him, like that. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's like this, yeah, and then I'm just standing like that, and he has just closed his eyes, and my hands are there, my hand is there on his right side below, and then I'm just opening my eyes because I'm as if I'm praying, and then I said, "Do you feel fine?" And he said, "Yeah, now I'm much better." And then I said, "Okay, now I have to go because I have things to do, Every time as if I'm in a rush in my dreams. I have things to do." And he says, "Thank you so much." And then he's like, afterwards, he's like, "Take care of yourself." I said, "You take care of yourself." And I said, "Yeah, especially here." I said, "Take care." And then like he goes, and I am going my way, and he goes his way, like opposites, like we go our ways. And then no news from this person at all. Nothing doing. And I said, I don't know why I dreamt about him, And so some months passed and all. And then I think it was his birthday, yes. It was October, yes. And I just wished him happy birthday, And yeah, and he replies to me saying, "Thank you so much." And he said, "Oh, this year has been special." And I said, "Oh, really? Why? What happened?" I said. And then he told me, 3 months ago, I got an appendix attack, he said. Okay. And then he said, I was operated, and then... And I said, really?" I said. And I said, "When did it happen?" And then he told me, those many months ago, when I had seen that dream where I was touching right on that appendix part on his body. and as if praying on it to be healed. And actually at that very moment, actually he had got operated, and voila, he was hospitalized for a day or so. And voila, so this was the kind of a feedback I had got from him. And I don't know, I really don't know what to call this, and I don't know what will you all call this. I mean, I just wanted to share this experience. I mean, there's one more experience also regarding my aunt, also who had a extremely horrible accident she had, where the person next to her had passed away, and she was completely in a bad shape, and we had got the news there. So I was meditating and I was praying, and that night I saw myself in my dream just next to her. The whole night in my dream I was sitting next to her when she was struggling for her life, just sitting next to her, and as if I put my hand on her forehead, and I was telling her, you don't worry, you're going to be fine. You don't worry, you're going to be fine. God is with us. God is healing you. I'm sending you healing, and I'm just, just being there, And today she's fine. Of course, she has some problems to walk. She's fine. And she doesn't even know that I was there. But in my dream, completely in that room where nobody was alive because she was in the ICU, intensive care unit, and I was just sitting next to her that whole night. I still remember that, and I never told her that until today. Never told her that, but I'm happy that she's fine. So I don't know, I just wanted to share this experiences with you all. I'd like to know, what do you feel? I mean, have you all also experienced something? Have you all also experienced something like this in your lives? I would really like to know in your comments if you have experienced some this kind of out means that we don't call it normal, all right? I would not call it normal because everybody doesn't experience it. It's something above normal. It's something that most probably we all have the powers of it inside of us to travel, to be somewhere. But I think this doesn't happen with everyone. So I would really like to know if you have experienced something like this in your lives, and what was it like? Because I would really like to know. I'm very curious to know that what were your experiences, if you have experienced something like this. And those of you who have not experienced something like this, what do you feel? What is this according to you? For me, I feel it is a soul travel to the limit of teleportation. In my mother's case, I would say it was like a teleportation experience. Yeah, it was that. In if I have to analyze it more deeply, yes, because it doesn't fall into just a soul travel. It's like, because if it was just soul travel, she could not hear me, I couldn't hear her. So this was something a bit different than this. I would really like you to tell me, what did you feel about all my experiences? What do you feel? What is it exactly according to you? And because astral travels, of course, those exist, and so many people have experienced that. You please let me know also what were your experiences, because I've had those kind of experiences also a lot, not just in this dimension but in other dimensions where I'm meeting different kind of people, and really old sages also, age-old sages, where I have met them. That I will let you know in my next podcast about a sage whom I had met when I was just 13-14 years old, and the same kind of experience it was regarding a dream also, but that was really different. That there I could say that this was a soul travel, but here with this I really don't know what to term this. I mean, I leave it to you all, and please do let me know what was your take on this, and what do you feel about this, and also what were your experiences. Have you had some kind of experience like I had, and people telling you that, oh yeah, and it was really like coinciding, it was really matching with that particular person. Yeah, I'd really, really like to know, my dear ones. So I hope you enjoyed my first podcast, which I was like blah 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 and chirpy chirpy chirpy, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I have so many experiences to tell you all. So I thought I would start this, and where it will be more like an informal thing, and like I can really speak my heart out, and I can really tell you all what are those experiences that I have experienced, and they are really special, and I haven't really shared it with many people like I'm doing right now with you all, my dear ones. So thank you very much for listening, and I shall see you next time with another podcast on another experience of my life. So please do like, share, comment, and please do let me know also if you have had this kind of experiences, and how did it feel for you when you had this kind of an experience, my dear ones. So thank you very much. Stay blessed always, and see you next time. Until then, take good care of yourself. God bless. Bye bye. Bye.